Welcome everyone to the Society of Thoracic Surgeons Congenital Heart Surgery Database user group call for today, Tuesday, June the 6th. So thanks everyone for joining today. On the call with me is myself. We've got Chastity, our consultant, our CHSD consultant, Emily Conrad, Janet from our core group, and Melinda Offer from the ACSD consultant. So thanks everyone for joining today. Again, I do not have a lot of information for today. I still wanted to have the call just in case you all had any questions that you needed to bring to the group. So I have some brief STS updates, and then I'll turn things over to you all for any Q&A. So hopefully, we have some questions we can help get those answered while we're on. Otherwise, we'll pick up on our next monthly webinar later in the month and continue on with our 623 education. So let's hop into our STS updates really quickly. Again, not going to spend a lot of time. Support plan. Again, if you have any questions related to your spring 23 analysis reports, please reach out to us at stsdb_helpdesk@sts.org. If you have questions regarding your contacts, contracts, or any other general questions, reach out to stsdb@sts.org. And then, of course, our clinical question support form. The June training manual, Leslie is finishing that up today. And that will be posted by the end of this week. So I will get that over to marketing as soon as she gets it over to me. And that information will be available, again, posted by the end of this week. Again, 623 data collection resources are available out on the STS webinar, out on the STS website. I apologize. And then, as I stated just a few moments ago, our 6.23.2 upgrade education webinars will continue throughout this month, and they will continue throughout July post go live. So lots of education coming your way. I know we'll have a lot of questions coming in once that version does go live. So again, we'll continue to educate for 623 post go live. So just keep that in mind. So keep sending those questions in once go live. Once the July 1 go live, just when you are submitting your questions, please be sure to submit them under utilizing the correct data version. So just be sure you are sending your questions submitting your questions using that correct data version on the clinical questions submission form. For just a couple of quick STS announcements, the Spring 23 Harvest Composite Rating Summary is now available out on the IQVIA platform. My apologies for the delay in getting that out, but again, that is now available out on the IQVIA platform within the library. Let me see if I can sign in really quickly and show you where that is. So let me bring this over. So again, the Spring 23 Harvest Composite Quality Rating Summary is available here within the IQVIA platform. So you can go in and download that as needed. So that is now available. And again, my apologies for the delay in getting that out. The Fall 23 Harvest, again, is underway and does include the surgery dates of 7/1/19 through 6/30 of 2023. The harvest is scheduled to close September the 15th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern, and opt-out is no later than September the 19th. Again, just a plea to please submit that last file no later than September the 15th. Do not wait until that last day to get those files in. Again, please submit your questions. Please submit your file prior to that September 15th deadline. And also just a reminder to submit your questions via the Q&A. I'm sorry, I forgot to say that. So please submit your questions via the Q&A. And then we'll get to your questions here in just a few moments. I do have a brief STS CHSD audit update. So selected sites will be notified within the next couple of weeks. That email notification will be sent to the surgeon representative and the primary data and file contact. We did audit variables will be posted on the STS website soon. I don't know. I think, Emily, do you happen to have any idea of when we can expect the website to be updated with the 2023 audit information?
Within the next few weeks, yeah.
Okay, so within
I know
the
that
next
the
few weeks.
auditors are working on their instructions now.
Yep, perfect. So again, just a heads up that there were really no significant changes in terms of the audit variables from the previous year. The one thing that we did remove from the audit, so the COVID variables are no longer being audited. And also for those selected sites, once you get your notification from CRS, please, any audit related questions should be directed to CRS. So in the meantime, if you have any questions about the audit, please feel free to reach out to myself or to Emily, and we can get those questions answered. But again, audit notification letters for those sites that have been selected will be going out within the next couple of weeks. So be on the lookout for that. Public reporting update. The next data refresh is scheduled for summer 23. I do not have exact dates at this time, but the consent submission deadline for this round of CHSD public reporting was extended to Monday, May 22nd. And again, just a reminder that this deadline is for those participants that have not previously consented to publicly report their data. Consent forms can be accessed on the STS website. And just a friendly reminder that you can withdraw from STS public reporting at any time. And if you do have any questions related to public reporting, please direct those to Sydney and her team directly at publicreporting@sts.org. So Sydney handles all things public reporting. So if you send me any questions regarding public reporting, I'm just going to forward those on over to Sydney and her team so they can get those answers for you. They are the best team. They handle everything. So they're the best to respond to those questions related to STS public reporting. So again, reach out to her team directly at publicreporting@sts.org. And of course, I did include this slide. I've included this slide numerous webinars. If you want to print this out, share this with your leadership, with your team. Again, the current public reporting reports fall 21, summer 23 will be refreshed to include the spring 23 analysis results. We will have another round of public reporting data refresh in winter of this year, and that will include the fall 23 analysis results. And then in 2024, we will resume with our annual updates for utilizing the spring 24 analysis results. So we'll be back to do that once a year, public reporting data refresh in 2024. I do have a couple of updates regarding AQO. So AQO 2023, as you all are aware, will be a virtual conference. We will be meeting later on today, actually right after this call, to begin our planning for AQO 2023 for the congenital session. Registration is now open for AQO. So I will pull those over. I'll show you how to access the registration page here in just a second. AQO 2024 will be back to an in-person conference. So we are super excited about that. So we'll be sharing more information about that post AQO 2023. But again, 2023 registration is now open and we will be back to in-person in 2024. So the dates for AQO 2023 this year are September 26th through the 29th, with our congenital session being held on Friday, September the 29th. Abstract submissions is now open, so we are welcoming submissions for abstracts at this time. The deadline for abstract submissions this year is Wednesday, July 5th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. And then our fees for AQO 2023 are included here. And let me just pull over the STS website and show you how to access all of the information for AQO. So go under education. And if you scroll over to calendar of events and click there and just scroll down the page, you will see 2023 advances in quality and outcomes, a data managers meeting. So just click here and this will bring you to our AQO page. You can register now by clicking on this button here, submit an abstract. All of the abstract information is here. And again, pricing for AQO 2023 can be found on this page. If you have any questions regarding registration, you can click here and contact our meetings and conventions department. And if you have any questions related to your abstract submission and program, you can click here and just reach out to Emily directly, and she will answer all of your questions regarding abstract submissions. So please, we do look forward to AQO this year. Hopefully we will have some congenital abstracts, so please get those in. We would love to have posters for our congenital session this year. So that would be great. Let me see. Let me get back over here. Before I move on to our next webinars, next webinar dates, I just wanted to ask Chastity if she could give a brief update on where things stand with the current training manual. She and Leslie are working super hard on the training manual. Is a beast of a document. So Chastity, I didn't know if you just wanted to give a brief update to the group of where things stand right now.
Nope, I'm sorry. I'm out making my airline reservations for AQO 2024 live in person. So no, I'm working on the training manual as we speak, as is Leslie. And we have some final meetings this week with Dr. Subramanian to clear up some final details. And then we will make sure it's all pretty, all links are working, all pictures are posted, and we'll get it out to you.
Awesome. Thank you. Looking forward to seeing it. All right. Our next webinars, our next monthly webinar is scheduled for June 20th at 12 p.m. Central. And then our next user group call is scheduled for July 11th at 12 p.m. Central. So please note that this user group call was originally scheduled for July 4th. As you all aware, we will not be in the office. So I did push our next user group call back to July the 11th at 12 p.m. Central. So just mark your calendars accordingly for June 20th and July the 11th. My contact information is listed here. Tech support, STSDB_help desk, database operational questions, stsdb@sts.org, and my information is located here. I see Dr. Meyer joined our call as well. So thank you for joining, Dr. Meyer. We appreciate you taking your time and getting on the call with us. That is all of the information that I had today. Again, like I said, just wanted to provide some super quick updates regarding AQO and the audit coming up. So I do see we have some questions coming in. So let's go ahead and tackle a few of these questions. And again, please feel free to submit your questions via the Q&A and we'll answer what we can today. Our first question from Nancy: can we have two separate STS forms, one for less than 18 and one for older? Makes it easier for a team to fill out. Too many pages to print. Tried to cut it in the Word form and it doesn't work well. Nancy, we thought about this, but it's really difficult to do two separate forms because some of the fields are shared between both populations. I put the form out there in Word. I think we just decided it's best just to keep it in one document. And since it does contain, both populations collect some of the same variables, it's just really difficult to have two separate forms out there. So I think at this time we've just decided to have that one form. And ideally, once your vendor software gets updated with the new forms, you'll be completing data collection on paper. That's a lot of paper. So at this time, I just have the one form available. Our vendor is in the process of updating us to the new 623 version, and we want to know if IQVIA is ready to receive 623. IQVIA will be ready July 1, Amy. So they are slated to be ready July 1 for you to submit 623. I've not heard any otherwise, but they are have told us they'll be ready July 1 to accept 6.23 version records. If our surgeon does adult surgeries at another hospital, what are the benefits of adding that hospital to our contract versus adding them to another participant ID? If we add them to another participant ID, would we get two harvest reports? So yeah, so if you added them to a separate participant ID, you would get two separate reports because the reporting is done based on participant ID. If you added them, if you wanted to keep them separate, you could still, from your other hospital, and you had two separate participant IDs, you could get what we call an umbrella report and have that data analyzed together. But if you have them under the same participant ID, you can't do the opposite and report them out separately. But you can have two separate participant IDs and bring them together and have them analyzed as an umbrella report, which is a separate fee, which I could get you more information on that, Brooke, if you guys were interested in that. But Chastity, I don't know if you wanted to, from a data manager and hospital perspective, if you wanted to provide any information on the benefits of adding to one contract versus creating a separate participant ID.
Well, so a separate participant ID, you'll have most likely a small number of surgeries, and then you're paying
Mhm.
for a full database for those. So just keeping in mind, I think the financial aspects of that. When
Mhm.
you add another hospital to your contract, instead of it being, your own personal hospital, but it being more of a surgeon level contract, so wherever the surgeon goes, you're including that information. You would have to have access to that hospital's, EHR to collect all the data. And so, yeah, you look like you're one super site, even though you're going to another hospital. I think the largest disadvantage of that is, or at least according to what I've heard from other surgeons, is that you don't control the care at the other adult hospital. So it's not your children's hospital taking care of them intraoperatively, postoperatively, optimizing them preoperatively. It's very different than maybe how you're doing things at your own children's hospital. And so then, it's all good and well to get their volume, but you also then get any of their outcomes, good or bad. And so I think that that's something definitely to think about when you are going from a hospital level contract to a surgeon level contract.
Cassidy, can I add something? This is
Yeah,
Janet.
absolutely.
When I looked into doing this, if you really couldn't add another hospital to a hospital contract,
Mhm.
do you know if that's changed? Because if your contract is under your hospital, not your surgeons, you would have
Right.
to start with a new combined participant ID and then all your data would go away. That's what I was told when I looked into it recently.
Right. Yeah. If you want information on it, I'll have to, I defer to Derek and his team as they handle all the contracts. I don't see the contracts, so I don't want to say anything that's not um, correct. So if you are interested, I know Brooke, you said you would love more information, and Krista, I see that you have asked for more information. Um, please just shoot me an email directly, and then I'll get you in touch with Derek and Jane and their team, and they can give you more specific information on your current contract that you have, if you're listed as a single participant or a single hospital site or a surgeon site. So a surgeon participant agreement is, like Janet said, you can have multiple hospitals under one agreement, but a single hospital site is obviously just that you can only submit under that for that participant ID for that one hospital. So if you'd like more information, again, just reach out to me directly and I'll get you in touch with Derek and Jane and their team, and they can give you information on your current contract that you have and steps needed. If you wanted to update that current agreement, they would let you know the steps that are needed and how to move about all of that. All right. What do we know when the May 16 webinar recording will be posted? Actually, hey, Brooke, I was just talking to Carol about this. I did reach out to marketing, I think last week, to get a status update, and it has not been posted as of yet. I know many of their team are down in Florida for the coronary conference, but I am going to be sending a reminder email as soon as we get off this call to them to please get that posted as soon as possible. So unfortunately, I don't have a date I can tell you when that recording will be posted, but I am going to follow up with them right after this call and see if I can get that posted ASAP, because I know that has some valuable information, as that was our first call where Leslie and Chastity tackled the some of the 6.2, 3.2 education, and the slides are posted, but that recording is not yet posted. So I'm working on it, and I do apologize for the delay. Okay, Chastity, is the 623 training manual you were talking about, or the June update for 341?
Correct, Maggie. I'm talking about the 6.23 training manual that we're putting final touches on and having multiple meetings about this week. I do know, as Leanne said, Leslie is actively working on finishing up the 341 training manual for the month, and that will be posted.
Yes. Yep. So Leslie's supposed to be sending that to me later by end of the day today, and I'll get that over to marketing and have that posted by the end of this week. Okay. Thank you, Krista. Yeah. And Krista, like I said, just shoot me an email directly, and I can actually tell you which contract you currently have. But then I'll I'll loop in Derek and his team, and they can get you assistance on if you want to add or change your current contract and all the information involved with steps with getting that done. And you're welcome, Maggie. Okay, I don't see any other questions. Again, just if anybody joined late, just a reminder that our July 4th webinar has been moved to July the 11th at 12 p.m. Central. I know Dr. Meyer had joined. I don't know, Dr. Meyer, did you have anything you needed to bring up to the group or anything to share before we turn anything over to
No, the only thing, yeah, I don't know if you can hear me. I
Yes.
had a little trouble logging in or something, but one maybe request or observation and then a request that, we're looking at some of the data around procedure specific factors, and well over 20% of the benchmark operations do not have procedure specific data information entered. So that's what we do have actually looks really very interesting about, and we've never incorporated that into the risk models in the past. But I think it would be my plea, request, whatever, to, if everybody could do that, could enter those procedure specific factors, I think they're actually going to become pretty important as we go forward as further enhancements to the risk adjustment system.
Thank you, Dr. Meyer. All right. Sorry, we have one other question. Any update on the surgeon informational webinar on the new version will be? Hi Jen, thank you for your question. I will discuss this with Dr. Subramanian. I know we did a surgeon webinar in the past, 4623, and I'm looking for it out on the STS website. But as you're aware, everything has moved around. The website was updated, so I do need to locate that webinar. But I think we did talk with Dr. Subramanian, and I'll talk to him about possibly holding another surgeon webinar post go live for 623. But in the meantime, if you have not accessed that previous webinar, just shoot me an email, and once I locate it out on the website, I'll happy to send you the link to it. But again, I'll talk to Dr. Subramanian about the possibility of having another surgeon webinar post go live. Thank you so much for that feedback. Okay, Dr. Meyer's request. Dr. Meyer, this is a question. We currently enter the PSF, but there are no definitions in the training manual. Where will they be in the new version? Actually, Chastity, will there be definitions for the PSFs in the new version?
Again, it's one of the things that we have taken up with the task force and such, and it's just one of those gray areas right now. Leslie and I are pushing for it and doing the best that we can. Absolutely.
We'll do our best to get it done.
Thank you, Dr. Meyer. Okay. Okay. The next question, can you send the surgeon link to actually here, let me do this. The surgeon webinar I found the surgeon webinar. So what I did, I just went on the STS website and under the search, this would be the quickest way for you to find it. So instead of me sending it out to everyone, because it would take me a little while to do that. I have to get a query, long story short, but out on the STS website and the search button, just put in CHSD surgeon webinar and search there, and it will pop up, and it's located here. New stat scores, new patients, new CHSD, the upgrade webinar. So it was from March 17th of 2022. So that is located here on the STS website. That's the quickest way to locate that webinar. Hopefully that's helpful. But then if you still have issues locating it, just email me. But again, just search CHSD surgeon webinar on the STS homepage, and it'll bring you right to the webinar. If that's helpful, Cindy. All right. Okay. I'm not seeing any additional questions, but again, I will, like I said, I will bring back to Rom the possibility of the feedback of having another surgeon webinar once everything does get post July 1. And we'll bring that back to the task force and to Dr. Subramanian for discussion. So I will let you guys know where things stand with another surgeon webinar once I have a chance to bring it to the Dr. Subramanian and the task force. So, all right. I'm not seeing any additional questions come in. I just want to be respectful of everyone's time. So thank you to Janet, Dr. Meyer, Emily, Janet, Melinda for jumping on today. I appreciate it. If you guys have any additional questions between now and our next webinar scheduled for June the 20th, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. And with that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And we look forward to chatting with you on June 20th. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I appreciate your time.